Welcome back to Coffee Unlimited with J and D. We are so excited to be back here with you again, and we are both wearing red. So if you are watching us on YouTube, you can see that we are celebrating the start of the Lunar New Year. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today is about the year of the horse and the significance of this new moon and the eclipse and what that means for us and all of you listening too. But before we dive into that conversation, Janelle and I love to do a little quick catch up check in too. And Janelle, I'd love to hear what did you do over the weekend? I know you were on a bit of a road trip, so just want to see how that was.
Yeah, I had a great weekend. So the family and we had a little road trip down to Portland, Oregon, which, as you know, it's where we're from. I lived there for about 18 years. The kids were all born there in Portland. So a lot of our dear friends and former colleagues all live in Portland. So anytime we're back in Portland, there is usually a few meetups and catching up and lunches and maybe some dinners with friends. And then I also hit some stores and get all the vitamins and supplements that I get in the US that I can't find very easily in Canada. I'm actually in my coffee today. I had put in my Laird's superfood creamer, which is has like functional mushrooms in it, which I don't even like mushrooms in general, but when they're ground up into a powder and they taste like a creamer, I will have them. So my coffee today that I'm drinking has my Laird's um, creamer in it, which I always get down in Portland. So I had just a really nice weekend of, rejuvenation and connection with some friends. My son Bo had a basketball tournament, so we also watched some basketball, which is fun. And we also watched a University of Portland women's basketball game, which that's my alma mater. It's also Carl's alma mater. So that was really fun to be back in the Child Center watching a game. So my cup is full. I had just a great weekend. What about you? What are you drinking today? I told you I have my coffee with my Laird's creamer. What are
Yes,
you drinking today?
I am drinking black tea. That's what I'm
Okay.
having just because I've had a couple cups of coffee already this morning.
Hmm.
And Blanca received a $50 gift card to Better Buzz. So she's an
Hmm.
influencer now. She says micro influencer. So
Doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise
they
me.
asked her to rate their new drinks, to do a little TikTok
Wow.
on their new drinks. So, of course, I was helping her drink these new drinks too, which were fabulous. But I was like, I think I need to pull back a little bit on the coffee today. So it's
So
black
so it's
tea.
it's actually coffee limited. It's not unlimited.
I love it.
So coffee
Coffee
limited
lim
today.
That's right. Coffee limited today.
But how
No,
was your
I
weekend?
Oh, weekend was really lovely. What's top of mind for me right now, though, is when you were over, do you remember we had this glass wall that faces, so in our backyard, we have
Hmm.
this glass wall that faces the avocado grove.
Avocado. Yeah. Hmm.
So we've
The
been having some
orchard.
major storms here in California.
Oh,
And so last night, that wall just came crashing down.
no.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
it's like 30 feet. I mean, I don't know how long it is, how wide it is, but it is a big wall. So this whole thing just comes crashing down. I mean,
What?
shattered. Yes. And I was like, oh, I mean, first of all, I wanted to replace that wall anyway because I didn't want to have the posts. I was like, I don't like these posts. I want it to be full glass. So yay. But
The universe. The universe
exactly.
answered.
The universe
Wait,
provides.
quick question. Did that
Yeah.
happen just last night?
Just last night.
During the new moon
Yes.
solar eclipse, Lunar New Year transition, it's like it is like the universe shattering down walls so that you can be free.
I mean, yes, and so the coyotes can be free too to
Oh,
roam
the
into our
coyotes
backyard.
can come and check out Spike.
I know, poor Spike. So yeah,
Oh
that's what
my
that's kind
gosh.
of top of mind for me right now because every time I look outside, I'm like, oh, whoa, okay. Well, we're getting that replaced, but
That
right
must
now
have made a
there's
big mess.
oh, it's a huge mess. There's glass everywhere. My
Wow.
plumeria tree is like,
No.
not doing so well.
Oh, that's sad.
I know.
Now, is was that wall? I can't remember. Was that just your wall or did your neighbors share did they have
No,
the same?
just our wall.
Okay. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
big project for you now.
Oh,
So
well,
you all are
yeah.
just free to the wilderness now.
Oh, exactly. You can just step out and
Yeah.
just start petting those coyotes.
Yeah.
I might even feed them,
Wow.
right? Like, why not offer them some steaks?
I would. I feed all animals, like all animals. I gave a half a burger to a raccoon the other night.
Oh my gosh. A cooked burger
Yeah.
or
Yeah, it
raw?
was cooked. It was my leftovers from a restaurant. I feed any animal that I see, I will feed. We
Oh
were
my
in
gosh.
France a couple years ago. And they had these really cool, I think they're ibex maybe. And we're on a hike and they're just out and about. And I was like looking around, what could I feed? Okay, before I get people coming after me, calm down. I don't feed all wild animals. I'm not feeding the bears. I have some sense, although I probably do push the boundaries. But all I had in my bag was some gummy candies. And I kid you not, for a minute, I thought about it. I thought, like, I wonder if they like gummy candies. But the kids talked me out of it. They actually said
Um,
they stopped me from trying to feed them gummies. But all of that aside, wow. So what's the timeline for you to get that replaced?
I think it's a couple weeks. I mean, it was
Oh,
already
yeah.
damaged a couple
Mm.
weeks ago from another storm that we had, so it was already starting to lean in. So I'm
Hmm.
glad Scott was prepared and we've got people coming in to replace that, but it was pretty wild. I mean, I haven't looked at the
Wow.
news. I want to just see how the rest of San Diego or the Southern California
Yeah.
area has been affected,
Yeah.
just so that nobody, hopefully, nobody got hurt during this storm. But it's been
Yeah.
pretty intense.
Wow, I didn't even know that you were having all that. Wow. Well, since
Yeah.
you had a metaphorical shedding, year of the snake is about shedding layers and
Yes.
breaking through to this year of the horse, which you did in dramatic fashion, Danielle. Leave it to Danielle to have a really dramatic step into the year of the horse, which in Chinese astrology, the horse represents freedom, momentum, vitality, independence, kind of this bold movement forward, which I'm so excited about because I have spent a good portion of this last year, I would say probably since July, August, I've been doing a lot of introspection and looking within, questioning, my purpose, what do I want in life? And I did that little retreat in December on my own, little where I
Hmm.
stayed at an Airbnb like 5 miles away. I rented an Airbnb just to have some silent time to myself for a few days and some quiet time to really think about what I want to step into this next year. And to be honest, at the time in December, I wasn't even thinking about the Chinese zodiac. I wasn't thinking about Year of the Horse. I was just thinking about 2026. I was thinking, okay, I'm ready for 2025 to be done. Not that I hated 2025. It's not that, but I just was ready for some movement because I was feeling a bit stagnant, I think. And so I was thinking, okay, what am I going to get after in 2026? And I was thinking about some career things, some personal things. And so now that we're in the Lunar New Year and I'm actually embracing this year of the horse energy, I'm really excited to see what this coming year brings when I really step into it because it is supposed to be a year of acceleration. So whatever goals that you may have been sitting on for the past few months or even years, now is the time. Now is the time that people are going to have momentum and and things are going to align, which
Mm.
actually, talking about alignment, that's, so it's Lunar New Year. Oh, okay. First of all, this week. Whoa. So there's Lunar New Year. There's the new moon that coincides with Lunar New Year. There was a solar eclipse yesterday that was, I think, seen in Antarctica. Ramadan starts today. The Lent season for Christians starts today. There's just a convergence of a lot of things happening right now that do symbolize maybe change, I would say.
Mhm.
A lot of these things symbolize growth, new starts, fresh starts, and change. And I think why so many astrologers right now are buzzing about this new moon solar eclipse season, because new moons happen all the time, but they don't always happen in an eclipse season. And that's what's happening right now. We had a solar eclipse, which is a perfect alignment of the sun, the moon, and the earth, coinciding on the exact same day as a new moon and the Lunar New Year. And so, what astrologers are saying, why this is such a big one and why this is such a momentous um, time, is because everything is in alignment, planetarily speaking, which
Mhm.
then, gets energy aligned and all that. So, and whether you believe in astrology or not, I think you can see evidence of the impacts of the planets and the moon and the sun all the time. When you think of the tides and the ocean and different energies that can happen. And so perhaps whether you follow your daily horoscope or not, perhaps you're feeling something changing and pulling and maybe even nudging you. That could be a result of all the things that are happening right now. And so I'm just curious, Danielle, have you felt anything? Has this time been particularly noticeable to you, or not so much?
I love how you explained that about the alignment with the eclipse and everything kind of coming together this week. I feel like I am more in tune with nature. And when I use that term nature, I mean like expansively, as in including the planets, the stars, all of it. I feel like I'm more in tune with that now more than ever.
Hmm.
Before, when I was working full time, I mean, my perspective was pretty much through my Outlook calendar. That's how limiting my world was. It was like
Yeah.
so individual. And then being able to not have this Outlook calendar anymore. I mean, obviously we have a calendar that we use, but it's just there's this freedom that I've experienced where I'm now much more in tune with the circadian rhythm, the lunar cycle, the seasonal cycles. And I think, whether we think that we feel something or not, I think we do on a subconscious level. I think all of us feel the shift in whatever is occurring in the planets.
Hmm.
So as is, there's that saying, as is the macrocosm, so is the microcosm. Maybe we don't have an awareness of that, but we are noticing those subtle shifts.
Absolutely. We are a part of nature. I think about that a lot, how humans, I think, because of our intellect and our emotional capacity and all this thing, we see ourselves as above the rest of nature, whether, more important than or smarter than or whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, we're part of nature. We we miraculously are created. Don't That's a whole different. I mean, I could go down a rabbit hole of the miracle of life.
Hmm.
Miraculously, we are created. I don't even, it blows my mind. But we come from the same elements that the rest of nature comes from. We go back into nature when we die. We are created from nature. And so everything is interconnected. And when things are out of alignment, in that macro sense, they're out of alignment in the micro sense. And when things are in alignment in the macro sense, I think that they're also in alignment in the micro sense. And so whether we notice it or not, whether we follow it or not, we are a result of the things around us. We are a result of nature and we are a part of it. So perhaps maybe for our listeners, maybe this is an invitation to tune into it a bit more, and think about, what a unique opportunity you might have right now to have this turning point in your life if you are open to the signs and open to the momentum and the energy that you feel and this kind of maybe karmic course correction that might be happening in your life, whether you're aware of it or not. And so perhaps, some questions you could ask yourself are, what is ready to move in your life? What is ready to move inside you? What's ready to move in your career? What's ready to move in your personal life? There might be something there. Just ask yourself that, journal on it. Maybe think like, what is ready to move? Danielle, you know that I'm thinking about physical movement, moving of like leaving Vancouver, BC, perhaps, like
Mhm.
because I feel ready to perhaps be somewhere else. I'm feeling this pull of being somewhere for just to be brutally honest, somewhere sunnier. So
I hear
I
you. I
I
mean,
keep
that's,
feeling I
yeah.
felt it for years, but it's really pulling me now. And maybe it's because of this it's stepping into this year of the horse that is giving me the maybe the permission to move. But for anyone listening, it might not be a relocation to another place. It could be something as simple as moving your energy, moving your career, moving away from friendships that no longer serve you. I don't know, it could be a lot of different things, or maybe there's just a truth that's trying to surface right now. So, maybe pausing. Curious, Danielle, if you have any recommendations on how someone might tune into that. I always think of you as being someone that helps me understand how to slow down and listen a bit more and have a bit more intention. So, what advice might you give someone who is looking to maybe tap into what's surfacing? How do you go about doing that? How do you create the conditions for that?
I mean, I think you kind of shared it when you said in December you took a few days
Mm.
to really curate your own silent retreat. And maybe somebody doesn't have the means to do that right now, but if if they can eliminate distractions, right? So just try to remove all of the things that take your attention somewhere else, like Netflix, social media, close down the workday, just so that you can have some time to be with yourself and your own thoughts and really start to
Mm.
question those thoughts too, because you and I know, so many of our thoughts are conditioned, right? They're conditioned from our culture, our upbringing, from good marketing, all the things. So to be able to just find time to witness your thoughts, and it doesn't have to be seated in meditation. Maybe it's a walk in nature and you're starting to just kind of talk to yourself, or you're journaling in the morning and you're processing through different emotions. It allows you that time to see those thoughts, see which ones are, as you're saying, like, what is it time for in terms of surfacing? Maybe there's a truth that's coming to the top, like clarified butter. You kind of have to do that work. You got to simmer that butter a little bit so the truth starts to come to the
It
top.
surfaces, it bubbles up to it surfaces. I
Yeah.
love that. Yes.
But if we're so busy and
Mm.
if we're on go mode the whole time, then we're pretty much in fight or flight. We're in that sympathetic stress response throughout the day. And then to be like, okay, what is it that I want? What's my calling? It's so challenging to hear that because it's so noisy.
Mm.
You're just in a noisy container. So, kind of going back to what you were saying too about we are a product of our environment. We are part of nature. We are nature. If we can take time, be in nature, get into the woods, go to the ocean, just sit on the earth, feel the earth, there's so much wisdom in that vibration. And I think that wisdom is within us, but we just haven't created the conditions to settle and regulate our nervous system so that that wisdom can bubble up and come to the surface.
Wow. I love that. And another tip for those that maybe have busy households and have this sense that I can't get away, that I can't find quiet, and maybe it's not that easy to head out into nature, or it requires a lot of planning to be able to do that. My recommendation, what works for me, and I've done this since my kids were little. My kids are all teenagers now, but this worked when they were little. I was really honest and transparent with my kids. And I would say to them things like, you know what? I need some quiet time. I need some alone time. And and they know what that means because to your point, life is loud. Life is noisy. And when you live in a house with a lot of other people, it can feel like the house is always noisy too. And so the kids know that. The kids understand when the house is noisy or when it's not. And so I would tell them that I'm feeling anxious right now, or I'm feeling that I have a lot on my plate and my mind is running with a lot of things, and I need some quiet time. I need some time to sort through everything so that I can be better later. And they might have some follow-up questions to that. So if you're willing to play along with them for a while and answer their questions, then the next time you need some time away, they'll understand it. You know, they'll say, "Oh, I recognize this. I know this." And then you can use that same language when you sense in them that they need some time to look to like settle down. Because you can say, you know what, maybe you need some quiet time too, and maybe you'll feel better. Maybe your emotions need some time to settle. So I think before I started to be transparent with my family, I used to try to sneak away. I used to use my showers as my quiet time, you know? So I was almost hiding from the family in the bathroom, and I would find that time secretively. But what I would suggest is don't sneak away to do it. Tell your family what you're doing because they need to know. They need to know what you need to regulate yourself and what you need in general in life. And they won't know if you're doing it secretively, you know, behind bathroom doors or behind your shower. So I really recommend just being transparent and telling your family and your friends what you need. And they'll help you create those conditions. They'll help carve out time where you can go for a walk or carve out time where maybe they go out to the park and they leave you in the house alone. Yeah.
I just think that is such a great wisdom and advice for all parents.
Mhm.
Like, let's not sneak away. Let's not close the door on anything. Like, I love, well, no, okay, let me just maybe close the door on some things.
We won't go.
Don't keep the door open all the
Some
time.
things the kids don't need to see
Yeah, they don't need to see
or hear.
everything. But I just feel like, in terms of how you share your emotions, what you're going through in the moment with your kids, I remember thinking that my mom was absolutely perfect until I became an adult. And it's great to just see that no one is, and to
Hmm.
come to that realization that no one is perfect at a young age, and that
Hmm.
mommy needs timeouts just like everybody else does. She's taken a self-imposed timeout, but
Yeah.
yeah, just to be able to normalize, like, hey, I need quiet time. I'm not always going to be here serving you. I need to fuel my cup too. I need to ask myself these deep questions of what direction I want to be going as well. And so I really appreciate you bringing that into this conversation.
Yeah. Well, Danielle, always a pleasure. I wish you a wonderful year of the horse, full of a lot of movement and big things coming for those listening, I hope that this inspires you to perhaps get in tune with the lunar cycle, maybe embrace this year of the horse, see what's ready to move in your life. If you enjoy listening, feel free to subscribe, or don't. That's okay too. But we will see you again next week. Bye.